Hello, everyone. This is Giles Edwards, and with me is Pete Trbovich,
Hello.
and you are watching and/or listening to Pod 366, a Weird Movies podcast. Now, a quick correction from last week. Apparently, we jumped the gun with some of our news, and so you'll hear some repeat stuff as we got ahead of ourselves, especially concerning Fantastic Fest and the Rocky Horror item. So this week, we will talk a little bit further about Fantastic Fest, some specific titles that I have just scratched from their website moments ago, and also mention a new thing that I got an email about moments ago concerning a project from the fella known as the villain in the Charlie's Angels movie and other roles that we may be familiar with. So, without further ado, Fantastic Fest. That is got to be coming up any day now. 18th through 25th. Well, it's almost over. So that was coming up any day now last week. As we get to the tail end, 5 titles that I'm going to be looking forward to keeping an eye out on their post-festival circuit. There's Dawning from the country of Norway. This caught my eye because it was produced by Spectrovision, which is the rather strange production company funded and run by Elijah Wood, Daniel Noah, and Lawrence Ingley that seems to like to hunt down oddities and get them spread widely. They were behind Mandy, for instance, and slightly more recently Come to Daddy. So that pedigree alone means this should be in our radar, though perhaps less of a chance. Another one, Decorado from Spain, we mentioned, from the filmmaker behind Unicorn Wars, Alberto Vázquez, has created, I quote, an expansion of a short film he did about a decade ago. The film expands the story of Arnold, a middle-aged mouse in the eerily named city of Anywhere, who spirals into an existential crisis after becoming convinced his entire world is nothing more than a stage and his life a scripted performance. So some existentialist animation as we touched on last week. What else we
Some
got
kind
here?
of a mousy version of the Truman Show, then?
About even yeah. Well, no, I think I don't know. We will find out though, because
Kristen.
we'll
Okay.
certainly be hearing from the publicists for that, since we happily covered Unicorn Wars, and that was a very strange experience indeed. I will commend Fantastic Fest for their film guide page. You can click on it, and what will show up, and you click on the second film guide option, is a box of different genre styles. And so I was able to slide right into things of interest, clicking on this word psychedelic or art house gone wild. So they have made it easy to poke around different kinds of movies that they have on offer. Also, we're going to be looking at the Ice Tower, which I believe I am reviewing for next week. And information about the Ice Tower. Lucille Hatzilhalovich's The Ice Tower is an enchanting, icy reimagining of Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen, set in 1970s France. The film unfolds as a mesmerizing cinematic fairy tale, blending the surrealism of dreams with the raw emotions of coming of age drama. Scrolling down, we have further promising words being dropped here. The story thrives on thematic echoes of identity, obsession, and mirror image reflections, using the camera lens itself as a symbolic cursed mirror that distorts truth as much as it reveals them. Haunting in its slow burn, The Ice Tower is a beautifully composed, fiendishly cryptic film. Lucille Hadzilalovich invites us to wander through its frozen hallways of memory and longing, where each frame feels like a whispered secret and every silence trembles with emotion. A darkly poetic experience, this film cements the director's status as a master of elemental, dreamlike storytelling in contemporary French cinema. So that I think I am covering next week. And let's see if you probably, and if you made it this past week, you saw the second screening of the restoration of Dildo Heaven, which we may or may not provide information about on the site, depending upon what our censors say.
Who was the creator of Dildo Heaven? Was that Cloris
Let's see.
Leachman?
Yes, that was
Yeah, that
yeah,
name.
Cloris Wishman.
So this is like her comeback movie,
They
or it was her comeback movie. It was buried for a while. I see some kind of backstory on it.
yeah. Looking at the blurb here from Fantastic Fest as a film from 2002, and
Yeah,
octogenarian filmmaker and queen of sexploitation, Doris Wishman was working at a sex shop in Miami in the early
Cloris,
90s.
Doris, right? Not Cloris.
When she met experimental musician Tom Smith, founder of the noise collective To Live and Shave in LA, spurring a full-blown career revival that saw her honored at film festivals around the world and featured on HBO's Real Sex and Late Night with Conan O'Brien, two different titles, I believe. It was not Real Sex and Late Night with Conan O'Brien, it was Real Sex and Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Tended to be Wishman's comeback movie, as you remember. Dildo Heaven premiered at the New York Underground Film Festival just months before her passing in 2002 and never had an official wide release until now.
Until now. All right.
So that's going to be out and about for Wishman fans and fans of, I'm going to guess, raunchy, bawdy, silly funsploitation doings. So Fantastic Fest, we hardly knew ye, but we will keep our eye out for pertinent titles that you helped make famous. Now, Pete, did you watch the trailer for that new movie starring Crispin Glover?
Oh, Crispin Glover. Oh, yes. I didn't see the trailer. I did just catch a whiff of this though. Yeah, this is Spooky Action at a Distance is the alternate title of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's a quote you'll recognize from Albert Einstein. He described quantum entanglement, I believe, as a spooky action at a distance. In other words, what happens is you'll have like two particles that were separated by space and time, but you do something to one particle and it affects the other one anyway.
Okay.
And that's called quantum, I guess, entanglement. Now, I'm not a physicist, and I probably just mangled the heck out of that. So, but
you knew more than
anyway.
I did. So yes, Crispin Glover alongside his father Bruce Glover are starring in No, You're Wrong, or Spooky Action at a Distance, which looks like it looks like it's going to be silent. There's a strange, steam-filled, shadow-stricken, moody 3.5 minute trailer that's been released that I just checked out that heavily features a timepiece and looks like intergenerational things and a lot of German expressionistic posing, lighting, and I'm going to guess acting as well, seeing as Crispin Glover is going to follow his own muse and bless him for that. And of course, sometimes he will also star as the villain in Charlie's Angels movies. So we'll be sure that there's a link to that website or certainly the trailer up on the post this Friday for No, You're Wrong. Now, Pete, you told me before I started recording. Would you care to explain your get-up and background today?
Well, I am a monk guarding the ancient esoteric wisdom of film lore in these two tomes that we have produced here at 366 Weird Movies, the 366 Guide, Volume 2 and Volume 1. And it took some time for me to get the grok of this, but generally what it is, the entries are organized by date, for one day of the year plus a leap year, and each one has a fact attached to it. Um, so under the Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me entry, it's on February 24th because that's given as the day the character Laura Palmer dies. Night Configuration is on February 29th because it was released in theaters on that date. And then we were just looking at September here. September 24th is today, isn't it? Today's movie is The Cremator because it played at Sorrento Film Festival, birthday of Ladislav Fuchs, who wrote the 67 novel that I guess it's based on. It looks like something in Czechoslovakian that
Oh,
I can
excellent.
barely pronounce.
What's
Oh,
playing
yes, yeah, it is Czech.
on the 26th when people will be hearing this podcast?
Let's see here. There's September 25th is The Lobster, and then September 26th, an old favorite, Carnival of Souls, 1962. And that is the that's one that's public domain. Very very classic little bit of a noir type of ghost story, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
But not just right. The
It
very
was,
next day, however,
yeah.
September 27th, is Meatloaf's birthday. Guess what that
Ah,
means? That's
gosh,
the
I bet.
entry for the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes, Rocky
We have a
Horror.
documentary coming out with that, don't we?
Well, we don't. Well, they sure do, and we made mention of it last week. So yes, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I mean, that was certainly one of the earliest weird movies I saw, and you mentioned that it was a great introductory weird movie. You know, people find this, they might want to find more things like it,
That's right.
and
Yeah, that's a good gateway weird. The other gateway is either I'd say either Terry Gilliam
hmm.
or of course David Lynch. That's the two good gateway directors that make people realize there's weird is a whole genre. And then they go searching it out. Hopefully run into our resources.
Yeah,
Hmm.
slippery genre, but a genre
But
nonetheless. So let's see. Yeah.
but yes, that the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's also given as kind of an alternative lifestyle anthem, isn't it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Very much so. Much
So
celebration of different ways of living. Be you a big square like Brad, a let's see, disillusioned academic, or of course a wanton mad scientist like Dr. Frankenfurter. There's
hmm.
for everybody in that story and in this world, and that I find is a reassuring message.
Yep.
With yeah, so Strange Journey, as you are watching or listening to this, opens today, and we'll have various limited screenings potentially near you. Looking at
All
the
right.
website, which we'll be linking, I observed that, oh, I could check it out this Friday at a cinema about 15 minutes from where I am seated right now.
Oh boy.
Yes, but
Have you ever attended a live Rocky show?
I have not, though I understand that they are typically very lively. Have you attended a live Rocky show?
No, I haven't. I've had friends who've gone and they literally do the costume bit and get up on
Mhm.
stage and do the lines and sing along and there's people throwing food everywhere. It's quite the riot.
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's yeah, there isn't really certainly at the scale and longevity of that participatory reaction at a movie
yeah.
screening that hasn't really been replicated. Closest I've read about, and at a much more subdued level by far fewer people because of its comparative obscurity, is I understand that in certain corners of the world, possibly very Californian ones, Tommy Wiseau's The Room also can have a sort of echo of that vibe. But other than that,
Yeah.
well, not to insult Mr. Wiseau's masterpiece, I would say that Rocky Horror Picture Show, among its many positive elements that we've already discussed, it is also a very well-made movie that happens to also be very, very strange. Um,
Yep.
So yes, that's documentary Strange Journey, directed by Linus O'Brien, will be traveling around various points American, typically major cities, perhaps scrolling down here, almost exclusively major cities, but major cities to be found all around the country. So even as far south as Florida, there's Houston, Texas. And oh wow, look at all these New York options near ish to me. So this is going to be easier to check out than many of the select cinema offerings that we stumble across here. So yes, Strange Journey opening today. And it looks like it'll be playing through, let's see, I'm seeing 5 days of screenings. Looks like it'll be playing today. Okay, so it looks like this weekend, scattered around the country, you will have your opportunity to watch Strange Journey, described by someone at RogerEbert.com, quote, energetic and vivacious, which I'd certainly hope so, considering the topic. So yeah, this is just a quick recap, and I'm looking at what I imagine this is going to be a brief little podcast, but worry not. Next week, our boss will be back, and hopefully we'll have a flood of weird movie news to update you with upon his safe return from exotic points foreign.
Of course.
And I'll say in the meanwhile, where I thank you for your attention to this quick episode and highly recommend you check out getting yourselves either the lovely 2-volume hardcover copy of the official 366 movie compendium, as Pete showed us earlier, and I'm
As we
happy
are
to show us again.
yes, there we are.
And I had not quite observed how much research the editor to that must have put in to find 366 different days to place
celebrate in a weird movie culture. Yeah.
And
what about One Battle After Another? I
what's
see
that?
that's being released.
Oh,
One Battle
right,
After
yeah.
Another.
What
It's being
about?
released, and is that Leonardo DiCaprio there with a gun?
Yes, Leonardo DiCaprio with a gun, and at least
Yeah.
from the trailer, what looks like a rather concerned expression for much of the time.
Yeah. So as I was just reading up on this, I saw an article on this, and apparently I guess Steven Spielberg is considering this a movie to be akin to Doctor Strangelove. It's got that kind of vibe to it.
Okay.
So I guess a comedy of errors with a bit of social political parody. I
Yes.
don't know how you get Doctor Strangelove without being Doctor Strangelove, but
Right.
there's another movie called Failsafe that I remember was also the same premise, almost going to end the world, but not quite.
Yeah. And of
That's
course, this
interesting. So,
this this is another Pichon adaptation from Paul Thomas Anderson. So I strongly suspect that someone on the 366 team will check this out. Um, we're it looks like it's guaranteed to be very good. Everyone I've heard mention it, who has seen it, has raved about it. And when you have a cast of Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Regina Hall, Benicio del Toro, and going further with other younger people whose names I'm not familiar with. So there's going to be a very high floor of quality, and I guess we can only hope that it achieves the delightful weirdness found in
yeah. So
repetition.
here's the entry for Mandy since we name dropped that earlier.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What day is Mandy Day?
February 1st, because of the birthday of Panos Cosmatos and Linus Roach. Oh, the director is Cosmatos. And I
And
guess,
he and the cult leader in that
yeah,
movie share a birthday. That's
Panos Cosmatos, yes. And
okay.
that, remember, is the one with the Cheddar Goblin scene in it, which
Yeah.
is probably one of my favorites. I remember the Cheddar Goblin sequence. There was movie news about that. The same people who were behind that viral short video you see running around the internet sometime called Too Many Cooks. Have you ever seen that?
Oh,
It's,
I have heard of it.
yes, Too Many Cooks. Anyway, the same people who did that were the ones that came up with Cheddar Goblin just for that sequence. So, Which, if you guys haven't seen Mandy, is this Goblin commercial for macaroni and cheese brand with kids going, we want, cheddar Goblin. But the cheddar Goblin is there and he just barfs up piles of macaroni and cheese for the kids to eat.
And
It's,
it looks
yeah,
like accurate macaroni and cheese from the famous delicious
frog
glowing
box,
orange
yeah.
cheddar product.
Right.
Excellent. I'll have to put that on my own calendar, February 1st, to do properly celebrate Mandy Day there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, so yes, you should consider buying this book for yourself, loved ones.
Or any
Maybe
movie fan on your list, Christmas is coming up.
Christmas is coming up. Any young readers out there, if you want to nudge them on a good path toward distinguished taste in cinema, this is a fine volume, a single volume in paperback and
New
double
volume,
volume in
yes.
hardcover.
Yes.
And of course, as a general request, do like, subscribe, etc. We will keep giving you the weird movie news as quickly as it comes our way. It's just been kind of a slow week. Sound good to you, Pete?
Sounds great to me. And after all, spooky season's coming up. Got to be something good coming out of it.
I mean, I believe it's the law that something good comes out Halloween style, or we'll make something good come out. If it's out, we'll find it. And stay tuned next week for the glorious return of Greg Smalley. And I probably will be there too, but who knows? So thank you all again for watching and listening, and have yourselves a wonderful end of September.